around the world. My name is Tom. I am the host of Recovery Live, and I'm a recovered alcoholic. Recovery Live is a program sponsored by Came to Believe Recovery, where one weekend can have you restored from your addiction. 3 days, that's right, 3 days taken through the program, just like the founders of Alcoholics Anonymous back in 1939. And you too can begin your life living in the go, which is what we're going to talk about today. 3 days to freedom. It happens all the time in just a weekend. I'd like to welcome my co-host Sean Higgins to the show.
Hey, how you doing, my man? Nice to see you again. Beautiful Friday.
Beautiful Friday. A little snow out here today.
Dude, I got to tell you what, it's been so cold here that yesterday it hit 27 when I went outside I'm talking cold, like negative 20s. So yesterday it was 27 in the morning when I woke up. I went outside and the wind hit my face and I literally was like, oh, it's warm today. It feels warm. When 27-degree wind hits your face and you think it's warm, you got to realize what we've been dealing with out here. So yeah, we're living though. We're making it.
Great. So today, Sean, we're going to be talking about living in the go. We're going to be talking about being recovered. We're going to talk about what recovered looks like. And this is one of our mottos, guys. You see it on our shirts, that we cross out the ing of recovering and we add the ed as recovered. If you work the program of the founders, you can be recovered. It says it in the big book and we say it too. The things in the big book are true. If they're true, we get them. We get those promises.
Hey, I want to share with you guys, and Tom, I don't know if you remember Darcy, but we have a testimony video from her. This is actually our most played testimony video on YouTube. I think it's got over 40,000 views. But she went to a retreat, and I want her to say in her own words how it was with her experience with Came to Believe.
Hi, I'm Darcy, and I'm here to just share a little bit about my experience with Came to Believe. Personally, I have battled eating disorders since the age of 15. And for 30 years, tried several different types of recovery and treatment. It wasn't until I found the 12 steps that I found what would be an answer to help me more than anything else ever had. And that was up until the weekend that I was invited to be a part of the Came to Believe retreat. And during that weekend, what I found is still to this day mind-blowing to me, because I found the answers that I had looked for 30 years. Came to Believe married my faith in God with the 12 steps. And when I put that together and I realized that that's what it's meant to be, I found the freedom I had desperately wanted for so long. It basically taught me that when God says I'm free and I truly take him on as a new manager of my life, then I'm free. And I don't have to keep picking it up and I don't have to go backwards. I can be free. And so I know that through this program, so many others can find freedom, and so many have. So if that is you and you're still struggling, please go to cametobelieve.org. You will find your answers there and you will find freedom.
My name is Matt Pinella with Pinella Construction. When it comes to running a business, you need to be insured.
Got a little ad in there for Matt Pinella with Pinella Construction. Dude, no clue who that is, but
Sean, that's such a great one to show, because we do talk about Came to Believe Recovery and the original programs and the founders being effective on every kind of addiction and every kind of brokenness. And Darcy's a great example, who came with eating problems, eating disorders, and was able to overcome them by using the same process that our founders used way back in the 30s.
Hey, check this out, Tom. We got Nikki from New Orleans checking in with us this morning. We got Misty from Fort Worth, Texas. I was just watching 1883, and that's where they start the trek on the Oregon Trail in that show. So it's Fort Worth, Texas. We got Doc Roth from Las Vegas. We got Taryn Price from California. A lot going on this morning. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
I loved Fort Worth. I was out there a couple years ago for the Texas retreat. Well, you were there too, Sean. But we went to Fort Worth. It was in August. It was so hot in Fort Worth. I mean, if you just stood outside, your shirt just got soaked, just standing in one place. 105 degrees. So good luck with you out there, Misty, in Fort Worth. I went to the cattle drive. They do a cattle drive someplace, and she'll now comment probably and say, where that is, and it was pretty cool. Dale Barker's
probably
joining us
everywhere.
from Florida. So we got Florida, New Orleans, Texas, Las Vegas, and California with us this morning. This is just awesome. It's great that we're reaching out to all these places and seeing some new faces and some new names. Sean, remember, guys, when you're on this, if you hear anything, if you got any questions, you got any comments, Sean and I are taking questions. We'll answer them. Sean will answer them, then I'll correct it when he's wrong. And Thad Johnson, he's another regular from Amory, my friend. He's near you, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He's actually a neighbor of mine. I could walk to his house if I wanted.
No, you can't walk anywhere from your house to anyone's house.
Not when it's negative 20
Actually,
out, but
yeah, not when it's negative 20. All right, well, let's see. Today, let's bring Alicea on. She's going to be our special guest today, and we can talk about some of the upcoming events, and Alicea is going to be part of some of those. So why don't we welcome Alicea M. to the show from California.
Hi there.
How's the weather in California today, Alicea?
It's good. Let me check right here. I think it is 45 degrees and sunny. It'll be 62 later.
were you
That's nice.
were you flexing, Tom, with your Starbucks California mug? Is that because you really leaned into the camera on that shot?
Well, I wanted to show the California mug to show my solidarity for all the events coming up in California.
There's only one mug that can trump that mug, and it's can't believe it.
Oh,
It's the
that's a
only
good
one
one.
that's
That's
the
the
only
only
one that can
one.
do it.
So Alicia's joining us today to talk about living in the go and talk about what that means to us today and what it means to could mean to you when you after you come through the program. We got some great exciting things coming up, guys. In a couple weeks, Sean and I are going to be out in the Bay Area in San Jose for a retreat that we're going to run at City Teams Shelter, and Alicea is going to join us. We're going to bring the message of recovery to it's really a homeless shelter. It's a bottom of the barrel, least, last, and lost people in tough situations, and we're going to go out there and give this life-saving message to them. And guys, so Came to Believe Recovery, we're going out and we're doing it free of charge for the members that come there.
I was impressed.
This is our mission.
I was impressed because, I kind of hope this City Teams thing takes off around the country because, I'm close to Minneapolis and St. Paul, and I've done some work with the homeless shelters here. And I know people care. They really do. I'm not saying that. But the City Teams one seemed like it was well-funded and they were taking a different approach and that they cared at a deeper – or they just were being creative in their method. So I'm pretty excited to get out there and work with them, to tell you the truth.
It's going to be great. And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to be taking quite a change in our environment and head up to Amory and have the Amory retreat, which is February 25th through the 27th. It'll be cold. I will be at that one. Dale Barker's going to join on that one. Actually, Dale Barker's going to join us in California as well as part of the team going in to present this life-changing program to those guys and women that are going to come. After that, we will have on May 6th, Mother's Day weekend. We're going to be at Redwood Glen, and that's just outside of San Francisco. That's an on-ground retreat, and you can find all these things on our website. And a week after that, Leesburg, Florida. And then after that, we're back in California for Nevada City, and Alicea will be certainly joining us for that one. So we're going to have three events.
Close to me.
Yeah, 3 events in California in just a very short period of time this kind of wintry spring. So it's really exciting stuff. If you're in the area and you need a life-changing experience, go to our website, reach out to us, come join us there. We'd love to be able to share the message and share it, in more and more and more everywhere we go.
Is there a better gift you could give to your mom than going to a retreat and sobering up on Mother's Day weekend? Really?
I'm planning on bringing my mom, actually.
Wow.
Oh,
To that
wow.
one. Yeah. She doesn't struggle with alcohol, but she's got some other issues. So I'm working on it. She's in Nevada, but I think she'll come.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have Kentucky with us, Sean. Jacqueline Bailey from Kentucky.
Yeah, let's look at this. Just proof that she's actually here. Look at that.
Right.
And Franklin saying hello. Nice to see you.
Franklin's a regular. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Awesome.
great things coming. And this weekend, I spoke with Viv D from England this morning, and they are at the Kent retreat this weekend. So there's a retreat going on in England. 70 people signed up, I'm understanding. And Melissa's at it, and D, they've been guests here, and they're off delivering that life-saving message over in the UK starting really this afternoon. So we wish them all luck, and our prayers are with you, and we're behind you this afternoon as you go. If we'd have thought about it, which I'm now thinking about it, we'd have brought somebody on from there and haven't given a shout out. But you can't think about everything. All right, good luck, team. Listen, if one of them chimes in here in a minute, maybe we'll send them the link and get one of them to come on and tell us how it's going out there. Actually, if Melissa or D, if one of you guys are listening, if you want, Lisa or Casera will send you the link. If you come into our backstage area, we'll let you on and tell us what's going on over there in the UK today prior to the retreat. Maybe Casera or Lisa can WhatsApp one of them and see if one of them can get themselves free. These are my subliminal messages to the team behind the scenes.
They've probably already done it.
Somebody.
It's already been done, right? She heard. Yeah. She's usually way ahead of me on all this stuff, you know. Don't laugh, Sean.
Is there anybody out there that could help us get D on to the oh man.
Is there anyone out there, right? Behind the scenes today, we do have Lisa and Casera. She's behind the scenes. We're probably going to bring Casera on. I'm sure she's going to have some input on some things we have today, and she might have to help us poke at Sean a little bit when he gets out of control. So she's ready to come on as we need her. And Lisa's yes, please. Right?
I don't like it how she's like speaking through the banners. That's not you're totally violating the protocol for the banners on this.
She's bring her on now. We better say hello to her, Sean.
Okay.
Let's see what Casera's doing.
Hey, where is she at? There she is.
Surprise.
Yeah. Surprise. How
I like my banners. How
I
dare
do.
you? You gave me the power. You can't take it away now.
Exactly.
Yes. So everybody knows this is the resident banner writer right here, Casera. So
hello. Glad to
awesome.
be here.
Well, just like you have the power to use the banners, I have the power to remove you from the stream. So there you go. Awesome. All right. Before we transition into the topic, I want to just, Casera, if you could throw a hashtag recovered up on one of those banners. If you guys punch this into the comment section, hashtag recovered, you will be entered in a drawing today to win some merch. You may have seen me rocking that coffee mug. We have t-shirts, all sorts of goodies on the website. We'll be giving away what do you think, Tom? One of these I Am Recovered gray shirts today. I think this one's great. Since we're talking about I Am Recovered, what a better gift to give away than the I Am Recovered t-shirt. So, and if you guys don't win the t-shirt, good news. You can go to the website and purchase one. All that money goes to help us give scholarships and keep the program rocking and rolling, bring retreats to places like City Team, and keep spreading the message of recovery. How do you do that? Recovery. Can you
Recovered people?
We'll keep spread the message of being recovered. How about we just use proper English anywhere you go? So hashtag recovered in the comment section will get you entered in the drawing, and we'll do that towards the end of the show. All right, Tom, back to you.
All right. Pam has joined us, Pam Berkland, right? And look at that. We have somebody from someplace with a foreign language. So we are hitting a foreign country. Isn't that cool? Where is that? Does anybody know what language?
We're probably getting hacked. I'm telling you,
maybe it's a bot.
Yeah.
It's that they're watching on YouTube. So that's awesome. We have expanded our streaming, guys, onto a whole bunch of platforms, and that person is watching on YouTube. So we welcome you. If you can speak English, welcome you. And we'd love to come to wherever you are and bring a retreat to save people and spread that life-saving message. So it's awesome to see the reach that we're getting. Wow. All thanks to the big dog Higgins, who has been our production increase ambassador of late.
Just striving for excellence. Check it out. We got some people already rocking out the hashtag recovered. Wonder if it works. Oh, he purposely spaced out his exclamation marks to make sure he got in there. So awesome. Well, Tom, what do you got for us today? What's the topic? What are you rocking with?
So, guys, you hear us talk recovered, right? we talk about recovered, we're not recovering. We talk about 3 days to freedom. We talk about restoration. We talk about all this stuff, right? That happens after you come through a retreat, really after you experience the program of our founders. And about 3 years ago, I was talking about what is happening when we get done with steps 1 through 9. What is it that 10, 11, and 12 does? What do we do? What is the mission that God has for us? What is it as newly reborn, if as it were, recovered people are we supposed to do? Well, we're supposed to go, right? Like the Great Commission says, go and spread this message to all lands. But not only go do that, but we got to go take our lives back. We got to go grab our dreams, take back our families, get careers, get our health and our life back. And I decided that calls living in the go. We're going to actually live in the go. Talk about today. We're going to talk about living in the go, that concept where we are forward moving in every area of our life, As recovered people, we are now out of the depths of recovering and we are living in forward motion, increasing on every level. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about living in the go, which is basically 10, 11, and 12 every day.
I don't know what happened, but I think I just took over as host. Look at me over here on the other side. So that's great, Tom. We'll be talking about living in the go. I personally think this is one of the funnest. This is when you actually get to have fun in the program, because you get out of that thinking of, I'm just gonna just to make it through the day. The striving and the like surviving mindset, and you get to actually move into what some people in different circles call like a victorious mindset. You get to take your life in your own hands and start applying 10, 11, and 12 to not only affect your behavior, but to affect your connection with your creator and to affect how you respond to the world around you and empower the world around you. So I at first, we all start with adding a few things in here and there, trying this, going with the baseline, doing a 10 at night, doing an 11 in the morning, going to meetings to give back in 12. But then you kind of get to start to make it your own, custom build it. It's like, to me, 10, 11, and 12 is like a box of Legos. And you get to kind of create your 10, 11, and 12 to suit your life, as long as you follow the basics of and the foundation of what the founders laid out. So that's why I'm excited that we're talking about that today.
I'd like to talk about, let's start off our discussion. There's kind of two elements of living in the go, right? So the 10, 11, and 12, right? Really the 10, Sean, like you took, it's a daily thing, right? Mm-hmm. So how does our day look like daily, different than it did back when we were addicts? What, just in the, micro view, so that I'm using those big, like master's degree words, the micro view, right? And then we're going to do the macro view in a minute, right?
You lost me.
You're going to confuse us already.
Yeah. Are we really doing a macro view now? Because I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid.
Well, we all are afraid of that. When you said, I think I'm host now. Yeah, I almost fell down. But you probably can make yourself. You have too much power. But so the micro view is like what I do every day. How does my day look different? And then the macro view is, how is my life different? What have I done in the big picture to take my life back over these years? And there have been some significant things that I've done. And same thing with you, Sean, and others. But let's talk about what happens in the morning when we get up these days that didn't happen back when we were drinking. What happens in the morning? What's the first thing we do today, Alicia?
I say the third prayer, or a little bit about that first, and say, direct my life. And then I read, pray, and work out.
Right. And we drink a little bit of coffee, don't we?
And coffee. Yes. But then to put like another wrench in the story, though, because I have the story of the girl that started the video. I also had eating disorders starting when I was 15, and I also lasted 33 years. So alcohol was in there, but then I switched right to food and eating disorders and over exercise. So there's a thin line that I have to still keep accountable to, of I can cross the line really quick. So when you guys say exercise is good and eating healthy is good, it is, but then people like me can really overdo it. And then I'm right back into my addiction behavior. So that's something too, just to keep in mind when we like joke and say about exercise. There's some of us that really have to be careful, you know, because I used to exercise 44 hours a week and thought, oh, it's fine. That's fine because it's my job. That's not fine. It's not fine. Same with food. You know, there's just certain things, but all in all, that's like a minority of the people that are probably watching this. It is good to exercise. It is good to eat healthy, whatever works for your body. But you need to be careful. If that's your struggle, you need to accountability partner or sponsor to kind of hold you and really watch you of what you're doing.
I mean, and that is so true. I know for me too, if we're not careful, anything, because we can go that we're a little bit of all or nothing, us as addicts, but the overall idea that the change in my day starts with getting up early-ish, doing some morning meditation, which I do faithfully every day, and then heading off to the gym. It's a radical difference from what I did before. This is not what my life was like before. I was up with a hangover. I was eating terribly. I was late for work. I was not reading anything motivational. And my day was not started moving in a forward direction. It was started moving in a neutral, if not backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that if I ate one double cheeseburger from Burger King during the day, that I wouldn't be considered an addict because, you know, I was using high-powered stimulants and didn't want to eat. So I used to think one double cheeseburger, then I'm not an addict, you know.
We lost his video.
We lost your voice for a second, Sean.
Am I back?
You're back now, yeah. I mean, that is. I mean, those are the tactics we used before, right? To help us to justify, right? Self-justification, which is a character defect that we do end up identifying. But we get up in the morning now, and I got to tell you, the discussions that I have with Alicea we start with Jim's talk, and we talk about healthy things. Mostly, it's always about that. It's what did we do in the morning? What are we doing? With Sean, it used to be more about the gym, not so much anymore. But there's a lot of
He's poking at you again.
He is poking at me. You know,
why?
No, I get up in the morning now, and gym's a big part of my routine. I also read books. Like, here's a couple I'm reading right now. I make sure I'm filling my head with positivity. I've taken, allow me to go a little bit micro or macro, and then maybe I'll go nano. I don't know which direction I'm going to take this, but I'm one of the, I'm of the nature, and I know there's some of you out there watching, and maybe we're all guilty of it, but I'm of the nature of, okay, things are going good now, so I don't have time to do the routine like I've been doing. And then all of a sudden, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, I'm calling Tom, and things are not going so well because the battle ends up being mostly in my mind. And so I've been doing that pattern through the 10 years of my recovery, and decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. So I've been pretty dedicated. And I'm realizing that, you know, a lot of my issue personally is self-talk. You know, there's a lot of negative self-talk and perfectionism. And so when I'm doing my 10 in particular and filling my head with these readings in the morning and doing some positive affirmations and some declarations, what I'm doing is I'm proactively fighting against that time when things don't go well. And I have now an arsenal of things in my favor, so that when I do make a mistake, I turn back and do it exactly like it says in 10. Because the biggest problem I've noticed for myself and for other addicts in 10 is that you forget that it encompasses step 7. So when you make a mistake, you all of a sudden start to feel like, oh, I'm never going to be perfect. This is never going to work. I'm going backwards. What am I doing? When you just realize, like, no, I already gave that to God in 7. So I just get to reaffirm that I already did that, and that it's not my nature anymore. I just made a mistake. And so that's how I've seen it manifest in my life, is that when I'm doing my 10 and I'm staying diligent daily, I don't have those thoughts of like, okay, I'm going backwards, or okay, this isn't working, or I need to be perfect, or look at you, you're a failure. Those all go out the window because I'm being proactive in my 10.
It's so important, that mindset. That's the recovered mindset, Sean. When we do 7 and we say, God, remove this character defect, we're not defined by that entire nature anymore. And so all we're doing is making mistakes. And mistakes don't make you recovering. Mistakes make you human and growing, right? And we just can grow then from that place. And it does keep you from beating yourself up and giving yourself that terrible attitude. And it lets us live in the go. Making mistakes is part of living in the go and moving forward.
Well, and I think it's really important that you hit that back home. Like, we don't carry that anymore. Like, that's why you have to do the steps in order. You got to go 1 through 9 and then 10, because how are you going to know? You know, you can start working and at least being aware of what's going on in your world around you as you're going through the steps. But until you've actually done 1 through 9, 10 is going to be a challenge, because what you're doing is you're saying like, okay, I am who I knew I was when I did step 7. I am who God says I am now. And yeah, I slipped up, but I'm going to go out and make it right. I'm going to make the amends I have to make, and I'm going to grab back on to being recovered. And there's no other price I have to pay.
No price. So I do want to tell the story of when I'm taking credit for Sean getting back in the gym. When it was a couple years ago, we went, and I remember that Sean came out to visit for a retreat that we had. And my routine is go to the gym in the morning. So Sean said, he was not at the time going to the gym regularly. And he said, all right, I'll go with you. So it was early. Remember, it was a little hard dragging you out of bed, but you got up and we went to the gym and we were doing some stuff, blah, blah, blah. And if you guys know what the sled is, anybody that's a gym person knows there's a weight sled and it has some straps on it. You put these weights on this flat sled. It does seem kind of silly when you talk about it, right? To those that are non-gym people, right, Alicea? We're pulling a sled, right?
What?
I could see people going, huh? What? But it's
There's
really,
nothing,
really intense.
There's nothing that workout people do that people that don't work out think is like, oh, I could, it's like treadmill, elliptical, lifting weights, pull-ups. No, thank you. None.
I think Libby could pull it.
Tire flips.
Yeah,
Tire
tire
flips,
flip.
yeah. So Sean pulls the sled, and we're talking about 20 yards. We're talking about 10 steps, 15 steps at most with some weight on it. And it nearly killed him. And I just remember it really woke him up, I think, right, Sean, that day to say, whoa, maybe I need to do something to help with my fitness and my performance.
Well, and I just like,
mm-hmm.
I'd like to say to some people out there who are watching, it's so common. I fell into the pattern. I don't know if Alicea and Tom did, but I see people all the time, especially in my region, where you get sober, you're doing well, you maybe weighed 50 pounds less than you should. And then next thing you know, 6 months later, you weigh 50 pounds more than you're supposed to. It just happens in early recovery. And then, so if that happens to be you, where all of a sudden you ended up like, man, I put on a lot more weight than I thought I was gonna, or I've been eating a lot more than I should. It's really easy to get back on track, So I did that. I jumped back on the wagon with Tom and made it a part of my daily routine, and I lost 70 pounds. So that tells you how overweight I was. I lost a small human being off of me, and have been sticking with it ever since. And it helps it's not just like looking good, but I feel good and my mind's clear, and it helps with my daily walk.
Let's not take Pam's advice. Pam would like a little chocolate cake with her workout.
Who's? Oh boy,
Pam. Well, she says, I want a little chocolate cake with my workout. I would not like any chocolate cake. Hey, I want to give a couple shout out. One of our Came to Believe leaders and new leader volunteers, Lauren L. from Florida's birthday today. I found out from a little birdie. So happy birthday, Lauren. If she's watching, we would wish her happy birthday. Anybody else's birthday, we'd love to announce it if you want. Happy birthday. Very good. So we're living in the go, and we start our day differently now. And that's this micro. What do? We get up, we have coffee, we have water, we eat healthy, we do our morning meditations, we go to the gym, and we feel really good. That's how I am. I get my day started with stuff that is all positive, helps my mind, my body, and my spirit. before I ever touch the computer to be at work. Now that's, if I got to be really honest, sometimes when I'm having my coffee, I am
Checking emails.
checking my emails. Yeah. With the British anyway. Oh, and to let you guys know, we did reach Melissa and Dee out in the UK, and they're going to come on here and give us a little update on what's going on out there at the retreat. Actually, Sean, they're in the backstage of the studio. Do you want to bring them on and we'll see what's going on over there in the UK today?
Yes, yes.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you guys today?
Just about to open up the retreat. We've just taken a few minutes out, like literally the first coffee since arriving, and we've set everything up. We've got just under 70, I think we've got 69 people, 70 people, which is just, we've never had that before. In 12 years, we usually get 50, and this time we've got another 20 extra people. We're full of newcomers, new people coming. We've had some issues on traveling and stuff, and one or two people are a little bit, have problems in getting here, etc. But overall, we're like doing really well. The team is running like clockwork. So what's your impression of it, Melissa?
It's been busy. It's been a really busy day. I've been on the go since the crack of dawn this morning, only a couple of hours sleep. But, it's really great, that we've got so many people for the first time ever. It just means that the message is going out there, really, it's going to be great. It's going to be the best retreat ever.
Oh, we get some woohoo and from the UK. So for all of us, all of our US watchers here, guys, where are you actually located in the UK? Where is the retreat specifically? Are you by London, south?
It is in the south, so it's south of London. It's about an hour south of central London, in a place called Kent, Aylesford, Kent. This is like a beautiful old friary, old building. One part of it is was 600 in the 6th century, and some other parts are, a little bit older, but all of it's quite old. We've just met up with Friar Francis, who is just like the most lovely man, who is the main friar here, the prior who's in charge of the whole deal, and he knows us now. And he gets excited to see us, and he loves us, and it's just like really great. So it's really amazing to be in this sort of environment. So for anyone that's like from America, so basically if you were to look at the map of England and you look at the bottom of the map of England and go to the right hand side and then go quite a long way down, that's where we are.
Oh, look at that. We have
oh my gosh, who's that?
picture.
Is that Lisa done that? Or Melissa or Kasara? Is it Sean?
Somebody's done it for you, but there we go, guys. So now you guys know where those guys are coming to us from the UK, and the retreats are great over there. Well, we just wish you not just luck. We don't wish luck here. We send prayers. We know that the life-saving message is going to touch some people, and you guys got to get to work. It's probably almost time to start over there now, right? Within an hour or so. Yeah. So maybe we'll have you guys come on next week real quick. One of you to come on, tell us how it went this weekend. But there it is, guys. The Came to Believe message, the message of the founders, that life-changing message. The ladies over there and men, I'm sure in the background, are ready to give it. And so thanks for joining us, Melissa and Dee, and have a great, fun retreat. It's not a glum lot. So have a great day, guys. And now Sean and Alicea are back. That's great to hear what's going on over there, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's I was talking about that 1883 show, and it's like the work that these people did to just get from Texas to Oregon. And now we just hop on with people from across the pond,
right.
No problem. Really, really interesting day we live in. We don't got a lot to complain about in the 21st century, but we sure find ways to make problems. So I'd just like to remind everybody about the hashtag recovered. If we can get that banner put back up, just hashtag look at that, because Sarah's on it today. So hashtag recovered, put that in the comment section, and you will get entered into a chance to win that I Am Recovered shirt here later in the episode. Also, I'd love to I'd love to see in the comments what the one thing is that you guys do in the morning that you couldn't live without. And then Tom, I wanted to kind of ask you a question, because when we talk about this stuff, we make it sound like we always want to do it. Like you wake up in the morning just like, I can't wait to do my readings, and I can't wait to go to the gym, and I can't wait to eat healthy. Do you always feel like getting up and going and doing all these things that you talk about doing? I mean, do you always feel that way?
Always.
Yeah.
You do not.
I feel like it always. Don't be, I can see Sarah shaking her head in the backstage at me. Always, I do.
No, that's
Listen,
a lie.
if you guys, how many of you have met me? Did you know what the best part of going to bed is?
Knowing you're going to get up and go to the gym.
Yes, and go to the gym and have coffee. Yes, it is.
All right.
There's
So
not one day
do you
that you
hold
don't
on?
want to go.
Did you hear the question? Everything we talked about, not just the gym. Okay, we get it. You like the gym. We understand. But like all the readings, all the time, like, don't you have to sometimes lean on the fact that you trust this program and you're going to do it anyway because you know it's what's best for you?
Like, I think that, part of my nature, that nature is that I have gotten a habit of it. And so I get up in the morning and I feel like, I'm also one of these that makes my bed every day. I cannot leave the house without making the bed. I make it every day. I do. Because Sarah just can't believe any of this in the back.
All right. I'm putting Tom off the screen.
Oh.
For those of you like me, I rarely wake up and want to lift right away in the morning. I don't even want to get out of bed sometimes. I like laying in bed. The best part about sleeping is sleeping, in my opinion. The best part about going to bed is laying there and feeling great and snuggled up when it's cold and you're feeling good. But successful people, this isn't just a quote and came to believe, this isn't just something I made up, but successful people in anything do what they don't feel like doing because they know it's the best thing for them. So I have to do that in this program too, because I can get comfortable and say, I'm not going to hit the gym today. I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A today. I'm going to blank this and blank that today. And it ends up never working in my favor because like Alicia was saying in the beginning, I'm an addict. So one Chick-fil-A sandwich, it's never enough. It's like, one day missing the gym is never enough. I just have to stay diligent to doing what I know I'm supposed to do, even if I don't feel like it. Because addicts, we rely on our feelings way too much.
Yes. Yes.
I'm getting the promises. And so that's what launches me into doing it too, Sean, is I wake up knowing that if I do it, my day's going to go well. So there may be something I'm trying to avoid a bad day. I don't know.
It's too late. You are a golden child. You wake up, you were born with the promises. You don't have to rely on your feelings you get to rely on your feelings because they are,
that's
always
right.
Feeling like you should do it.
Taryn's on my side. I know I do that. Taryn jumps in on my side. Thanks, Taryn.
How about you, Alicia? Let's ask somebody, you say the promises are coming true, but I just heard probably a load of dishonesty come out of your mouth a little bit ago.
Right.
How about you, Alicia?
I didn't
you always feel like it?
I didn't believe him at first, but then the more he said it, I'm like, maybe that's true for him. But it's not true for me either. But I do it. And I just keep reminding myself how I'm going to feel after. And motivation is not required. And I like mindset activities and sticky notes and stuff. Like this one says, switch from outcome attachment to process improvement. I have this book, Atomic Habits, the best book ever, will help you with habit setting and habit stacking. And so any little hacks like that are amazing, but I don't always feel like it. So, but I always feel better after every single time. Every time. There's not one time that I didn't want to go and then I went, and then I never ever in my life have said, oh, I shouldn't have gone. That's not going to happen.
Well, that's a good point.
It's not. But it would happen if I didn't go, then I'd be mad every time.
Because Sarah is agreeing with everything you say and shakes her head no at everything I say.
Well, Tom, give us an example then where you don't always feel motivated to do something. There's got to be something. Maybe with food, maybe.
No?
Because exercise, maybe not, but there's got to be something.
Oh, I don't believe any of this right now. Pretending like, I don't know, come on. There's like,
maybe he doesn't. I don't
Well,
know.
all right.
You know him better than I do.
No, if there's a character, this is good because this is all still living in the go, guys. It's in that category. And I just want to make a comment that, guys, as much as Alicia's saying that she doesn't always want to do it, look at the stuff she said she does. She has a sticky note, which giving her a positive affirmation. She's reading a book that's a positive affirmation about stuff. This is all in living in the go as a recovered person. We do not have to be perfect and want to do everything every day, even though I do. Now the eye rolling from Casera. We might have to bring her on just to show her eye rolling to everybody.
I love you. Just totally deflected your answer over to Alicia.
Right.
So
You
we'll move
still
on.
didn't answer my question.
For the real human beings.
I deal with procrastination still. I think if there's one thing that I still have that is I would say make mistakes in or am growing in is procrastination. So there are things in my life that I don't want to do and I'll put them off until they're to a fault of me. I have, a dental bill for a teeth thing that happened to me. And because I'm going to have to pay it and there's no insurance, I'll tend to just bury the bill because I don't know what to do about it for now. I mean, I'm being honest. I just put it down and go, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Now I'll deal with it and it'll all be great. But I do have those kind of things. They stress me out. They hang over me. I have things like that. So in the day, I do have those kind of stresses. It's stuff and going anywhere at night, guys. I never want to go anywhere at night, ever, anywhere, ever, hardly. So it's really hard for me to leave the house after dinner.
Well,
okay, so he is normal after all.
We feel bad for you. I'm sorry we brought it up. I shouldn't. The number one, and I know Dale Barker is going to be right there with me on this one, but he is a Yankees fan, and that's probably the hardest habit he's had of giving up. So on to our next subject, right, Tom? How about step 11? That's living in the go.
Living in the go. Step 11 is how we get some power for our step 10, right? Growing in our conscious contact with God and the power to carry that out. So we wake up in the morning, we do our praying, we do our meditations, and then we're moving forward in our whatever it is that our life mission is now become and things that we're working on in our lives. And we need to have this God that we took on in the third step help us and give us power. And he's real, all of us. You speak to anybody from the Came to Believe world or others who have connected with God in our way. He's really real. He, she, it, however you want. And he helps us and he can connect with us and he empowers us and he strengthens us and gives us wisdom and encouragement. And so I use that to help, fuel everything that I do.
And a lot of people who I see really, like, I always think about step 11 and growing in this area as like putting steroids to your program. Like, this is really where people see radical growth, especially when they're willing to, I use the word experiment lightly, but experiment in their faith. The founders of AA they got all this out of the Bible. It's biblical based. And they even a lot of the early members encouraged church and seeking out groups like that. And reading the Bible yourself and finding worship services. And this is really where AAA and Came to Believe don't have a set, there's hundreds of denominations. There's not one that we would endorse. This is a place where we all believe in the same God. We're all pushing in the same direction. We all are seeking the same power and strength so that we can not only empower ourselves, but empower people around us. And where you go after this is completely up to you. All we want you to do is to find your people, find your group, find your a spiritual family. And, we remain a part of a lot of people's spiritual families, from Catholics to Baptists to non-denominational to crazy charismatics to Reverend Angelicans, if that's how I pronounce it. I think that is true. And Episcopalians, anyone, that's where but those people who'd say, okay, this is my launching platform, Came to Believe. I'm going to stay rooted in Came to Believe. I'm going to continue to work and give back at Came to Believe, but I'm going to jump into another group as well and grow in my spirituality. Those people are the ones I see change the fastest and go the farthest. And that's not opinion, that's fact.
That's awesome. I agree with everything you said. Let's
Can we get that clip on repeat, Casera? Can we clip that he agrees with everything I said?
Oh, she said no to you. I love that. or she shook her head no. So let's talk, guys. We're 10 minutes out, but let's talk about one big thing. We didn't get to the big stuff, the stuff that really changed our lives. Steve Foreman, when he talks at retreats, and we all found this out, that here we go, we get recovered, we wake up in the morning and we find that we have like 6 hours in our day that we didn't used to have. I know I started drinking at 4 or 5 in the afternoon and would go till nighttime. And so what are we going to do with all that time? What are we going to do with this newfound lease on life? And some of us have done some pretty big things. We've done some great things, and that have launched us into living really successfully on many platforms. What I did 6 months after I got sober is I decided to go back to college. And I got to tell you guys, it was unthinkable beforehand. If you'd have told me the day I was sitting on the edge of my bed with a bottle of vodka that 6 years later I'd have a master's degree and be speaking at the inauguration of a university president, I would have told you were absolutely out of your mind. But that's exactly what happened. And it happened because I embraced this. I did my 1 through 9. I knew that it happened. I embraced the promises. Step 7 really worked. And I worked my 10, 11, and 12, and I had a new power now that was encouraging me and helping me in my step 11. And I was out there taking my life back. I reinvented myself, and I did get my master's degree, and I did things like learned how to play guitar. I took a lot of things back in my life, and you could too. I'm not saying any of this to give myself any credit. It's just saying if I could do it, so can you, from the depths that I was in. What big thing happened to you, Sean? What came out of this whole thing after you got recovered?
The way I explain this the best in my words is that I was free to dream. And I realized that when I would dream and take the qualifications that made me an addict and apply them to other things in my life, I could actually go places and do things. And I wasn't afraid to fail. And when I failed, it didn't knock me off my socks and off track. I was able to actually go and try things like starting a business, which ended up being very lucrative for me and gave me a lot of sense of satisfaction. I was able to marry a woman that 3 years earlier probably would have gave me change when she saw me on the street. You know what I mean? Because that's a big thing for me. And for those of you out there who are single and maybe you're new in this, water seeks its own level. So if you're down here, you're not going to find a girl up here. You're going to find a girl down here. That's just how it works. They're not going to be attracted to you. And if they are, it's going to be for some weird reason. So I just allowed myself to elevate so that when I could and decided to date again, that I was actually going after some winners. And I did outpump my coverage, and I went for someone out of my league, and that was it ended up working in my favor. So I got 4 beautiful children out of that, and a beautiful relationship with my wife. I pastor a church, so I went way deep into my spirituality, and God has opened up some doors for me in that. And it's all out of dreaming. It's not like, it's not like I wanted all those things when I first got sober. I just started to dream. And when I would dream about something, I'd start to actually believe I probably could at least attempt it. Just because you dream doesn't mean you always think it's going to happen. But as being a recovered person, I actually can go out and say, hey, I'll give that a shot. And if I fail, I'll learn something from it that I can apply to some other area in my life. So that's what I think being recovered and this living in the go thing has manifested for me, especially in the area you're talking about.
Alicea?
I feel with all my time before was on exercising and teaching classes and getting more classes and more classes and more classes out of feeling unworthy. And once that I got recovered and then really did it just 5 months ago, I did it with you guys. Before that, it was Celebrate Recovery, but I was still in that I'm recovering mode and I never felt recovered. So 6 months ago, I think it was 6 months ago now, September, things just switched. And then I just started volunteering. So now I volunteer a lot for Came to Believe, and I'm speaking and leading, which is amazing. It's always been my dream. I was in Toastmasters for years because I thought one day I'll speak somewhere, even though I'm afraid and I'm an introvert and I don't want to. But I knew deep down God was working on something. And I'm hoping and thinking that this is probably part of that avenue of where I'm supposed to be. I started a Came to Believe at our church on Monday nights. I volunteer at a coffee shop, and I am in another ministry for church. And it's just amazing. We go to life group, and we're very involved in our church. And the thing that just mainly switched is now I'm doing it for God and for others. And I'm getting out of myself, because I was just so selfish. It was all, look at me, look how many classes I have, and look at what I'm doing. And through all of it, I was so miserable the whole time. So now when I volunteer and give of myself, it gives me joy to help others. And then selfishly, I do get joy from that, but I try to switch it and say I'm doing it for other people so that they can feel what we feel, because it's once you just need to teach it and tell others, like, you need to come on this side. And it's just amazing, the difference of the switch. Once you say you're recovered, it's such a huge deal. It really is.
Isn't it interesting how, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, almost everybody who enters this program and becomes recovered or even gets a taste of it, they're like, I want to go out and help other people. I mean, that's like, it's like, if you notice what we're talking about here, it's like, now I volunteer, I get to give jobs back to the economy, I get to pastor a church, I get to start a Came to Believe at my meeting at my church. It's like in us as human beings, or maybe as addicts, I don't know what it is, but like whenever people all of a sudden come alive in this, the first instinct from them is to go like, how can I go help people? And I think that's really cool about the alcoholic and addict and codependent and overeating and whatever other schism you have community.
It's Sean, you said a great thing that I embrace today too, and I'm sure Alicia does. Let's see if we can each think of something today that you don't think is impossible, that you might even attempt one of these days, because it's a dream that you have and a goal that you might even go for. And I'll start. So there would be something today. I would love to have a PhD. And I would tell you that if it works out, I have the confidence that I could do it, and I never would. I would love to have a PhD, along with loving to see Came to Believe retreats in all 50 states. All things that you might have said couldn't happen. And I believe today, not only can they happen, they will happen. So those are two things that I think I could probably achieve. I could achieve.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
No, Tom, I just, with my infinite power on the deal, I believe in you so much. I changed your name to Dr. Tom. Look at that.
Oh!
I'm going to keep calling you that from now on. So
yeah, that's a good motivation right there.
Yes, I believe in you, man. Okay, I'll go next.
Okay.
This, mark it down, because this is my this is my coming out speech. Is I want to be a U.S. senator. I want to try to be a U.S. senator.
Wow, that's a big deal. Me too. I want that one. I changed my answer.
No, you can't take that one. You're gonna be a Dr. Tom.
All right, I can't. All right, Alicia. Sean,
you're putting me on the spot. It's something in the realm, and it's been brewing of, like, with eating, and it's so prevalent everywhere, but people aren't seeing how unhealthy processed food and sugars are, and they think fat is bad, and I'm just like, no. And it's everywhere, and it's in my life group, and it's in pastors that I see in churches. So I see me somehow speaking church to church, maybe doing a 12-week program of health and life coaching, and showing them that we need to be recovered from that. And also, this might be a touchy subject, a lot of alcoholics go to sugar, and then I want to be there for them. And, rather than there's something going on that I need to get in, because I'm actually personal training one of those. He's sober, but he is sugar, 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 and he's got inflammation and he's tired, and I want to help these people.
Oh, that is my go-to. You know, I know that when I have a sugar relapse, it's crazy. But can we just say, if you're interested in information on this about how to eat healthier, then maybe they could put their name in the comment section and you'd reach out to them after the show?
Yes.
I think it'd be a great resource, because you are right. But I a couple of years ago, before Tom was involved in Amory, tried to eliminate soda pop. And yes, I said soda pop. I'm from the Midwest. And I tried to eliminate candy, and I replaced it with fruit. And you'd think that I had said we weren't going to do the steps anymore. It was that consequential. It almost shut the whole thing down. So we're not going to, that's it. We're going to slowly push into that, but I 100% agree with you. We switch from one addiction to the next, and sugar is just as bad, just as bad.
So as you guys can see, we become productive members of society, helping it in all categories. I want to go do some things to increase my education to help be able to advance a society in that way. Sean wants to get into government and to help us to make the decisions. I love that. If you're going to complain about it, you might as well be part of it. Alicia's going to move in and help people in their health and their wellness and their food and their eating, all things that people struggle with. This stuff, guys, is all under the category of living in the go. This is all in the category of stuff we would have never had the energy, the time, or the interest in doing. But we get to have these things now. We get them. It's part of the promises. Intuitively know how to handle situations, a newfound freedom and happiness. And that's what we're living in. And that's what we talk about. Get through 1 through 9, and you too can have unlimited success in many areas of your life. Why don't we bring Kasera on at the last minute and see what she has to say about all of this as we finish. You took Alicia away and brought Kasera on.
Hi.
Don't forget about the t-shirt.
Yes, we're going to do the t-shirt right afterwards. So you hear us talking about living in the go. You're motivated. I know Kasera's getting her master's degree, right?
Yes. Yeah. I definitely don't have golden boy motivation like you, but I go to the gym every morning, and it's definitely something like that's me time, where it's like I'm not taking care of the dog, like I'm not hanging out with my partner. It's just like that's me time, and that's why I like doing it. But there's some days that I don't want to go, and I agreed with Alicia. Like I know if I go after, like I'll feel great, but if I don't go, then I'm gonna be like, oh, I wish I did something. Like I wish I got my step in or things like that. But I take rest days. Like going from an athlete to someone who's not playing sports. I played 3 sports my entire life, and then when they don't prepare you for when you're not doing that anymore. They don't prepare you for how you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to look at yourself, what workouts you're supposed to be doing. So taking the breaks is like, that's good for me. Like I just need to like take a break, and relax and stuff. But I think that everything's true. Like I was also like in my own way, like Alicia said. But now I really try to put myself in other people's position and kind of really understand the world from a different perspective, because like, obviously I'm always going to think I'm right. And I'm always going to think I know something. But when you take a step back and you put your efforts into something else and for someone else, and you don't look at the outcome, that was the biggest thing coming into the recovery field, is like, I'm going to help whatever I can. I'm going to help someone and I'm going to be there and support them, but I'm not going to get attached to the outcome, because then you're doing it for you. You're doing it because you want a good outcome to say that you help them. But really, I'm just here to support. Like I'm cheering you on when you need it. You can lean on me when you need to as well. And then the rest, like you fly off and like you did it. Some people are like, thank you so much. Like you did this for me. It's like, no, you did it. I just finally gave you that feeling that you needed, that you felt safe enough to do it. You did all the work. I was just standing there, clapping my hands, cheering you on. So I think that's such a big thing, is just helping others and being there for others. And I mean, taking care of yourself, whether it's going to the gym, whether that's eating healthy. I'm with Pam. I'll take the chocolate cake. Not all the time, but I'm going to eat the chocolate cake. Because
she did call me Golden Boy. I don't know. Sean didn't jump on it, but she did say Golden Boy. So I don't know what this. But just so our audience knows, we do have a text group called the Pull-Up Crew, and Kasera is part of the Pull-Up Crew. Kasera and Alicia, and part of this pull-up crew, and we are motivating each other to do better because pull-ups are good for you. So the pull-up crew is in. So Sean,
I
let's
could
do
do
the
0 when we started, and now I can do 5, 4 or 5.
well. We'll have to check the video one day. Let's go to the video. Sean, let's do the t-shirt.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot all about that.
Yeah, we're overtime, but that's okay. We're going. We don't have a particular time we have to sign off.
All right. So
Let's
one
do
last
t-shirt.
chance. I'm going to give you guys about 10 seconds to put hashtag recovered in the comments section. And then I'm going to hit this button. Actually, I'm going to go 5, 4, 3. Oh my gosh, I lost my mouse. 2, 1. Oh yeah. Woo! The thing I like about it is when it just says winner. I just think it's like, take that in, Nikki. You are a winner. Not just the shirt, but just in life. You are a winner.
All right,
Awesome.
I gotta go to work out, guys. I'm out.
I go. Thanks for being on, Alicia. We'll talk to you later.
Right.
Continue that living in the go. Alicia should join us. We'll be talking next week about accepting yourself. Well, that's a big one because we didn't do that very well before, right? We were terrible. We had terrible self-esteem.
It's still hard for people, even once they've become recovered. It's a hard thing to walk into, you know?
It is. All right, great. We'll turn it over to you, Sean, for the closeout, and we'll see all you guys next Friday.
I sent the wrong guy off. There we go. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I know you could be anywhere. It's Friday, especially at lunchtime. You could be tuning in on anything, or maybe you're watching at night. We just really, really appreciate anybody who would take time out of their day to talk recovery with us. And we just want to encourage you to continue to tune in here and to share this show because we want to make sure we're getting the message of being recovered out to as many people as we possibly can. You can check us out here every Friday, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. And with that, I say everybody here at Recovery Live, thanks you for tuning in. We love you, and we hope you're having a wonderful day.